What is up, guys? I know it has been a long break. There's a reason for that. Real quick though, before I put this camera on the stand, part of the woods where I ride, which I'll also get to in a minute as well, is there's this creek, which has obviously been washed out and eroded, as you can kind of see. Normally it hasn't rained much lately here, but normally the creek is just absolutely flowing, coming through right there, and it's just a blast. It goes all the way through these woods. As you can see, these property markers, again, I'll get into that in a minute, but anyway, this is where I ride, and hopefully soon I can get some actual riding footage for a lot of y'all. I know that's what you want. Otherwise, why even sort of come to this channel? So I get that. I'm the same way when I'm looking at stuff for YouTube. You want to see actual action, and it's coming, I promise you. But anyway, I guess another little quick walk around since I semi-cleaned it. I just came back from the dealership, had its first service and all that stuff. So it's, like I said, semi-clean. Haven't really dirtied it up too much yet. I have missed it, man. Between that and being out of town on a bachelor party, I haven't had the four-wheeler or been on it in 3 weeks until now, and I've missed it a lot. I have still yet to get this thing stuck, believe it or not. These tires, they find a way. I've been in some serious sticky situations where I thought for sure that was it. There's nothing, but then if you keep at it, keep rocking, keep working it, and eventually it's climbed out of every hole. And I can't say enough good things about how fun it is to ride. But anyway, one of the reasons also that I went to the shop though was because the fuel, I guess the fuel sensor stopped showing the accurate amount of fuel. It was showing that, it kept flashing low fuel on the screen, and there was a full tank. But now they covered it under warranty, because I'm still on my standard 6-month warranty, and so now it's fine. They replaced it, didn't have to pay a cent for it, which I shouldn't have had to, but anyway, so that's fine. That's the only problem I've had really with this four-wheeler. So anyway, I was gonna give a quick walk around, kind of let y'all see it before I put this thing back up on the stand. And God, it's just beautiful. Such a good looking four-wheeler. What's going on, guys? It's John. I know it's been a little while since my last video. But anyway, this video is really kind of just giving an update on how things are going, and I want to ask you guys a few questions. So first things first is how to film me riding. I know y'all want to see actual footage of me driving this thing. I'm not trying to overcomplicate it, but out here, kind of in this land that we consider ours, but it's not really, we don't wear helmets. So I know that's not the smartest thing to do. I get it. I did wear them when I was little and growing up, but we don't wear them. So can I go buy a helmet? Sure. But how do y'all mount the camera? Where do y'all mount it? I'm pretty much set that I'm going to get a GoPro Hero 6 Black or 7 Black, whatever the newest one is, so I can get really good high quality footage. Do I need to do it that way? Should I do it that way? What is the easiest, fastest route to, I've heard some people say they have chest cams or whatever and different things, so I want to get y'all's opinion on that. The second thing, I've already ordered it. It's on the way. So the next video I shoot will be my thoughts on how I like the clutch kit. But I was going to get an EPI clutch kit, posted in the Facebook Polaris Sportsman owners page, and everybody said go to Quad Shop's Customs, or Quad Shop Customs QSC. So that's what I'm going to do. I've ordered it. It's on the way. I got the adjustable clutch kit, so that's going to be it was like $320 or $310, something like that, tax and all. There's a guy in Pensacola, Florida. I'm on the Alabama Gulf Coast, but there's a guy 30 minutes away in Pensacola at Explicit ATV that I talked to, and he's going to do that for me. And I'm just getting that clutch kit to kind of get back some lost power. It's still tons of power. I don't have any problem with it. I could not get the clutch kit and be totally fine and happy. But those Outback Max tires, even though they're only 27 inches, they're on the heavier side. They're a 29.5 weighted type tire, and you know, if I can get that power back, why not? So I'm gonna do that. And while I'm there and while I'm doing that, and this is something else, this is, I guess, one of the last things I want to get y'all's opinions on is sort of in that back spot. See if I can show y'all with this. Let me detach this camera real quick. So as I've been riding, and like I said, I do a lot of riding in the creeks and water, and you know, we got spots, got one down that way. I'd say the typical height would be like, you know, right around here, right around the floorboard level. Occasionally it'll get deep. I've had, if you see my other videos, this is like my 7th four-wheeler in my life. I'm 29, soon to be 30. Don't want to talk about that, but I've had a Grizzly 700 2011. I've had a Sportsman 500 04, Sportsman 700 04 as well, Sportsman 500 2008. So I've had 3 Sportsmans before this one, a Honda Rancher 350 in 2001, 2011 Yamaha Grizzly. None of those Polaris, none of those other four-wheelers have had the problem that I'm about to describe to y'all now. And had I known about it, I may not have gotten this four-wheeler, but if I can get it fixed like this guy at Explicit ATV is saying he's gonna do, then I guess it won't be that big of a deal. But so apparently the clutch housing, if I'm saying this right, you'll have to forgive me. I'm not super mechanically inclined. I know four-wheelers backwards and inside and out, but when it comes to actual parts and doing the work myself, I don't trust myself. But water can get in right in there into the belt, and you don't even have to be going in that deep of water. I mean, my other Sportsman, I'd have it up to the seat. Same thing with the Grizzly. No problems ever, I guess, because the intake and all that stuff was up here. But apparently on, I guess it's on all of the Sportsmans, the 1000, the 800, 850. I'm not sure about the 570s, but they put it really low. And what happens is the belt starts to slip, and bad, to the point to where basically you have to wait for it. You either have to drain it or wait for it to dry out. You know, obviously I drain it now, but the first couple times I waited on it to dry because it only took like 5 to 10 minutes. But still, I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, you don't want to do that when you're out here riding and having a good time. So, let me put this thing back up on the stand. So, this guy that's gonna put this clutch kit on, I kind of talked to him. I've asked on the Polaris Owners Forums, people keep saying, you know, just seal the clutch and, you know, do this and do that. I'm telling y'all guys, like, I absolutely appreciate the feedback and y'all telling me these things, but I'm not going to be doing it. Like, I just don't trust myself, not yet anyway. Even if it's not that difficult, I'm going to go, I'll happily pay a professional to go do it. And what he's telling me is they basically what they're telling me is the only way to fully seal it is to snorkel it. I don't want to snorkel it. You say, why? Well, first off, though I do love to go in water, I typically don't go in water that deep. And second, I don't really like the way it looks, like, at all. I mean, I don't like all the models I've seen with huge snorkels coming out the front rack and all that kind of stuff. It's just not my thing. If I absolutely had to do it, would I? Sure. I don't have a problem doing that, but I don't want to do it. And so he's telling me that he offers, he called it a stealth snorkel kit or something like that, where he basically runs the tubing up through kind of where the front, the pod comes up out the front part of the rack, where you can't even see it. It's not, the way I understand it, it's not these huge pipes coming up, but he's sealed everything and vented it all up top where it probably should have been in the first place. And he's claiming that's going to solve my issue. He says he's done it many times. So I'm planning on doing that if you know, I talk to him when I go to drop my clutch kit off and all that stuff to see kind of what he thinks about it. But the guy's extremely knowledgeable. I mean, you could easily tell. Explicit ATV in Pensacola, so we'll see how that goes. But that's something I kind of wanted to get y'all's opinion on. I don't know if that's happening to a lot of other 850 owners or 1000 owners. I'm curious if it was that way on the 16-year model before they updated them to these, on the 850s or 1000s, because that's a game-changing type of issue, and it's something I wish I knew about. So if I can help somebody before they actually go buy it, or the first time they take it out, if they're planning on going through their spot that's a water spot, river, creek, whatever, be aware of that. And there, to be clear though, Sometimes it's not an issue at all. I can go, I don't really get how or why, but I can go up to the seat a few times. Doesn't slip at all. So it's like hit or miss. I guess it's where it comes in, the housing and the intake, and if it does, and I don't really get it. But either way, that's that. The last thing I want to talk about is this, because this is a shorter video. I grew up in these woods, and me filming these woods is going to be very, very important, because as y'all see, there's those markers, land markers, they're all over the place. So I grew up riding out here since I've been born. My older brothers, it's like I said, it's a place down here on the Alabama Gulf Coast down here that a family friend owned it, and they pretty much have never done anything with it. My family has been coming out here since like the mid 80s, before I was even born. So I grew up coming out here. It's changed a lot over the years. Back down that way where you can't see, we had a huge clay pit that was unbelievably fun, man. It was so awesome. It was like a pond / clay pit, and they totally wiped that out and put storage buildings over there. But you know, there's still probably 15-20 acres down here where I ride. So you know, the trails could be better. They could be a little bit well kept, but I didn't have a four-wheeler for years. They kind of grew up. But the sad thing is they sold that land to a developer out of Panama City, Florida, who is apparently going to be building 144 homes here. And since I know people that are on the town council that are in my family, the plan's already been submitted. So I don't know how much longer these woods are going to be here. And it really, really sucks. I could make a video for days talking about all the memories I have, you know, in this land and everything about it. But that's actually going to make me finally venture out and take my four-wheeler to new places, because normally I don't. I just ride here, and it's always been a comfort level because I can just hop on my four-wheeler at any time and ride around these trails. Even though it's not a lot to ride on, I can scratch my itch anytime I want to. And so I'm pretty torn up about it, but I want to get this footage, these trails, this land, you know, I want to get it filmed, so for me, and also I'll share that with y'all. So that kind of goes back to my first question of you know, how to exactly film trail rides well, because I've never done it before. So that's pretty much it, guys. As far as the four-wheeler goes, I love it. I love it so much. I wish I could ride it all the time. And I'm happy to have it back. And my clutch kit's on the way. I guess I should, about this time next week, I will take this four-wheeler to Explicit ATV and have them put on the clutch kit and possibly that stealth kit or snorkel kit, whatever you want to call it. So then that way, hopefully all my problems will be solved, and you know, then I'll be ready to rock and roll. But if there's anything else y'all want to know about this, let me know. You know, I really appreciate all the feedback I've gotten from a lot of y'all on the 850. There's not a lot of footage of 850s, the newer ones. There's a highway right over there, so y'all are hearing a lot of that, I'm sure. But yeah, there's not a lot of footage on the 850s. So anyway, I love my 850. I love everything about it. I love the active descent control. And I just think it's an awesome four-wheeler. It's one you can find great deals on. It's almost kind of forgotten between the 570 and the 1000. And I could have gotten any one I wanted to, as I've mentioned in other videos, and I felt like the 850 was like the perfect balance. And you know, anyway, the ride's great. I've only had to use the winch a few times to kind of get stuff out of the middle of the way on some trails and whatnot. But anyway, enough of all that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and there will be more coming soon, and I look forward to the next one when I can tell y'all about this clutch kit and if everything got sealed properly and all that stuff. So anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all for checking by on this channel. You know, I never envisioned it having the kind of views on some of my videos that are over 5,000–6,000 now, which is nuts. But that shows a lot of you are passionate about ATVs. I couldn't be more passionate about them. I love them. I know so much about, I could just see an ATV going down the road. I know the make, the model, the brand, the year, going all the way back to the 80s when they pretty much came out. So that shows me that, you know, it's not all about side-by-sides. People still love ATVs. They take you places side-by-sides can only dream of. And I hope as time goes on, when I check out some of the riding spots around here, you know, y'all get to see some really good footage and see this thing in action. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out this channel, this video, and I'll talk to y'all soon. See ya.